Welcome to the Milk and Cookies podcast. This is the super amazing podcast that has absolutely everything to do with American football and absolutely nothing to do with milk and cookies. My name is Alex. I'm joined today with Leon. Today, we are going to be going over something that we haven't gone over in a bit. This is our purely only Dolphins podcast, at least the sub series that we have on the podcast. We're going to go over the preseason game last Saturday against the Chicago Bears. If you want to look at just overall preseason one, there's another video that we posted a couple days ago. But this is purely Dolphins, only that. So let's dive right into it. So Leon, Dolphins lost 13-20, but there was a lot of streaks of hope right there. If you could pull out one MVP of that game, who would you pick?
My MVP of the game. That's a good question right there. I would say I would go from a defensive standpoint.
Okay. You think the defense did good?
No. Well, the first half they did do good.
Yeah.
So when the starters were in, they did a good job holding the Bears down. Made some good rush, blanket tight. I just feel like I would give the defense of starters the MVP.
Okay. So I got two specific players that I think did fantastic. Offensive, I got to go Savon Ahmed. He was doing great running the ball. He was 2 for 35 and a touchdown, the touchdown from Jacoby Brissett. I think he showed a lot of flashes and possibly a fantastic running back number 2 behind Gaskin. And then on defense, I'm going to say Noah Igbenogany, because that progress from last year to this year has been so great. Remember last year against the Bills when he would get burned left and right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at it there in the preseason game. He was holding everybody down. He had some good tackles. He had a pass breakup. I mean, a lot has changed from year 1 to year 2. So, and the two things that have arisen to at least me for the Dolphins is the wide receiver room and the cornerback room. We have a lot of stacked talent.
Yes, we do.
And we're going to need to cut that down too.
Yeah.
You figure
Well, he just went on injury reserve for 3, so that's a spot opening.
But wide receiver, you got the starting 3 is of course Parker, Fuller, Waddle, and then even the backups. So you still got Preston Williams, Allen Hurns not on injury reserve, Jakeem Grant, Albert Wilson, and maybe Matt Collins, and then that's just the people that could make the team, the 53. That's not including Malcolm Perry, Lim Bowden, Kirk Kmet. I mean, those are the other big 3 that are trying to fight for that spot as well.
I don't think he'll make it. And then we just signed Khalil McLean. He was waived by the Bears before preseason, so we're just adding receivers, I guess. But I don't see the outcome right now.
I mean, as a team that we had such a huge issue with wide receivers last year that we were basically running practice squad guys as wide receiver 1s and 2s in certain games. I think the Dolphins are doing a good job. You can't have too many wide receivers, at least too many good wide receivers as backups and as, practice squatters. So I think the wide receiver room is going to be stacked. I think the first 7 that I mentioned is going to be the starters, or not starters, but, the active roster, with the last 3 maybe on practice squad, but maybe special teams, you never know. And defense on the cornerback side, you have Byron Jones, Xavier Howard, Igbenogany, Nick Needham, Johnson,
Coleman. Justin Coleman.
Yes, Justin Coleman. That's what I was trying to figure out. Not Johnson, Justin Coleman. And then who else? Davis is on there too, which he's okay. And then safety-wise, you have Javon Holland, Devin McCourtney, Eric Rowe. I mean, the secondary of the Dolphins is arguably one of the best right now in the entire league.
What's that?
Let's see. The offensive line, the defensive line was a little shaky, but it was pretty steady. I wish to see Jalen Phillips in the game, but, I think he's going to play in the Atlanta game, so I'm excited to see him make his debut finally. Jalen Waddle with that punt return for the 24 yards was fantastic. I'm glad that our special teams is getting shored up besides than just having Jakeem Grant doing kick and punt returns. Now you have Grant, Perry, Igbenogany, and now Waddle. So 4 speed guys that can really do anything. So, um, from just that game alone, what was one thing that you would consider to be disappointing or a little scary or worrying for the regular season?
I would say our starters on the offensive line
Hmm.
kind of look out of sync. I think both teams did that game, but it's just the first preseason game, so I hope the blocking gets better for the Bills. Well, the
Yeah.
Patriots. Sorry.
Which one do we play? We play the Patriots away and then the Bills as the home opener.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I hope the line gets better because yeah,
That offensive line is a little terrifying. It's young. It's productive. I think it could be something good. But I mean, you figure you still have Austin Jackson, Robert Hunt, Solomon Kinley, Liam Eichenberg, Jesse Davis, Skura. It's a it's a line that hasn't known each other for very long. They're
yeah,
not cohesive. They're not a congealed unit yet. I think they could, but there's a couple pieces that need to be figured out. We just traded for Greg Little, the second rounder from the Panthers in 2019. We traded him for a 7th round pick in 2022. So I think that could be something similar to like the Isaiah Wilson case, of the low risk, high reward type situation. But maybe we won't cut
yeah.
him after 3 days, so that would be nice. Um, um, so I think the big question for all Dolphins fans is the Tua situation. So you give me your perspective on how Tua played that game.
For me, it was. I mean, all we can practice. I was, on Twitter just looking at the reporters. They said Tua was, he had a bad week. From the game standpoint, he had some nice passes. He had some bad passes. I feel like he needs to, continue to get comfortable and play at least 2 quarters like they played him, where he can get get ready for week 1. So keep playing, keep playing, keep trying. Keep
Mm-hmm.
going.
Okay. All righty. I mean, yeah, he's going to be there. Hopefully, he needs to be there, especially this season. This is a big competitive AFC season. I mean, what 7 teams are going to make the playoffs, and I think in the AFC there's 10 or 11 teams that you could actively see make the playoffs this year. So the
Oh yeah,
Dolphins need to make sure that Tua is ready to take it on. But honestly, from that game, even the pick I think was something that was still good because he read the play, he saw the open receiver. The only thing was that he just threw the ball late, and that's what caused the pick. But
yes sir.
take away the pick, he was still 8 for 11 for 99 yards. In a regular season game in the first quarter, that's fantastic. You're on pace to do 296 yards. You know, that's fantastic stats there alone. Excuse me. There was a couple. He looked a lot more comfortable in the pocket. The play calling allows him to actually launch the ball, especially with that Gesicki pass for 50 yards.
Oh yeah,
Um, Receivers trust him. He trusts the receivers. He's there. He knows the playbook. He's accustomed to the league. So the only thing I can hope is that my prediction of Tua and really pulling out just the good stuff right now is, you know, surefire, and we're not going to be shopping for a quarterback in the next draft.
and I hope he shows it against Atlanta. Come out quick, 5 passes, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Just sit and go sit down.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, from the season standpoint, I think the first 2 games can really show what the Dolphins will be capable of for the rest of the season. Because you figure what week 1 is New England in New England at a 425 start time. So New England not as good as what they were years ago, but they're still a presence. They can still force 8, 9, 10, 11 wins if they really, if they were capable of doing that. So if it's on the road, Dolphins' first game, and we've never really, was it the last time we beat the Patriots in New England was 2019 week 17 when we won our 5th game out of 16?
Yeah,
And we put the hurting on the Patriots and how the Dolphins ended the Patriots dynasty. So, um,
yeah.
thank God. I think if we win that game, it's going to go well for the season. It'll be a nice stepping point. If we win the Bills game, I think that'll really put a lot of hesitant people away right there.
Oh yeah, that will. It's a statement.
Mm-hmm. we'll beat the Patriots away, and then if we beat the Bills at home, I say I don't see any case that the Dolphins wouldn't get more than 11 wins. Wait,
I agree.
I'm sorry. I wouldn't see a case where the Dolphins win less than 11 games. Therefore, meaning that they'll win more than 11. Okay, that's what I meant to say. But
I agree.
the Dolphins have one of the weaker schedules in the league. I think it's mid to low 20s. So we really need to take advantage of the schedule. So, but other than that, I mean, what else about the game really spoke out to you? Specific players, specific play, drive, what?
Second string, Jacoby Brissett surprised me. And if the line is going to be bad, you need somebody like that to scramble and get out of there. He's a big guy. He can make plays on it. So, I mean, you never know when he's going to come in handy.
Well, the only thing that I hope is that we're not going to have to rely on a situation like last year where we have to put in another quarterback to finish out a game, like what we did with Fitzy last year. So,
another number 14.
Another number 14. Oh my God. Yeah, that's right. Other than that, let's see. The tight end room really was solid, like they always were, between Gesicki, Smythe, Shaheen, and Myrick. The only person I don't think Myrick is going to make the final 53, but the first three, I think, are going to be surefire starters. Not starters, but active roster. And Gesicki is in his final year of his contract, so he's going to be looking for some money in the offseason. So I really hope that we can pay him.
Me too. He's a hell of a receiver. I mean, tight end.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, that guy's a receiving tight end. If he's just a hair faster, he could be considered a wide receiver. Let's see. I want Parker to show out. I want Will Fuller to be dominant after week 1 because he has that suspended. He's still suspended week 1 because of last year's issues. So
yeah,
I think Will Fuller will be great. I think Parker will be fantastic. I want to see Waddle. Win Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think. I don't know. This Dolphins team is really scaring me at the same time because I can see them win 12 games at the exact same time. I can see them win only 6. So
yeah,
they're highly volatile. I remember last year that everybody said that the Dolphins were gonna be 5, 6, 7 wins, and we came out and win 10.
Yeah,
I want to make sure that those 10 wins were not fluke games.
Yeah, we can't lose to the Broncos like that. Stuff like the game hunts me.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we still got 2 more weeks of preseason, so we still got 2 more weeks of solid analysis like this so we could really figure out the active roster. The Dolphins are currently at, 86 right now because of the international player. Yeah. And then, when's the next cutoff?
It's Tuesday next week.
When and how far will they lower it to?
80, and then the next one is just all the way to 53 after that, after the last preseason game on Tuesday.
So they have to lower it from 80 to 53.
Well, 80 to 69.
Oh, okay.
It's the same rules as last year, so you get to have 16 people in practice squad.
Yeah, okay.
Oof. Which is good for development if we have to pull somebody because Corona.
Yeah, no, I see notifications that certain player gets put on the COVID list, so. Well, we'll see. I'm excited. Atlanta's next week. We're looking to dominate, show Felipe Franks, which is the best team in Florida, because he was UF. So as a FSU UM fan, gotta put him in the ground a couple times. So, but yeah. Anything else to add?
No, man. Fins up. We're just evaluating right now, but we can't wait till week 1. It's a special season coming.
Yeah, week 1 is 3 weeks away? About 3.
That's it.
3.5. Yeah. So 3.5 weeks away from 18 weeks of football and seeing if the Dolphins can actually put some money to their mouth. So, but I'm excited to see that. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment to see if we were right or wrong. Tell us what you predict about the Dolphins, who your favorite player was, your biggest concern. We're going to be doing another one of these for next week's preseason. After the Atlanta game around this time as well. So just be on the lookout for that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we'll hope to see you very soon. Fins up.
Fins up.